When people first read The Richest Man in Babylon 2.0, they miss a very important component to achieving their goals, whether they be financial or otherwise. The first story in the book is about Ben. He's an average Joe just like the rest of us. And then something happens to him that a lot of us don't see as significant when we first read the book. He had a dream. And in this dream, he wasn't Ben the mechanic. He was Ben the baller. When he was telling his best friend Kobe about his dream, he told him that he was the man. He was wearing designer clothes, and he had stacks of cash literally spilling out of his pockets. He had so much money that he was giving the homeless $100 bills like it was nothing. And his wife, Ben, bought her everything that her heart desired, everything from designer clothes to designer shoes, handbags, jewelries. He even went on to say that her glow came back. She was looking as beautiful and happy like the day he married her. The next morning, we find him sitting outside his mechanic shop, stuck in deep thought. The dream had such an effect on him that he couldn't even work on the car that he had in his garage. My question to you is, what was it about this dream that had Ben stuck? When we dig more into Ben's story, we see that he was a hard worker. All he did was work, fix cars, get paid, pay his bills, and then repeat the process. That would have been Ben's life until he died if he didn't have that dream. How many of us live that kind of life? Wake up, go to work, do our job, get paid, pay our bills, and then do it all over again. Day in, day out, Monday through Friday. But then Ben had a dream, and for the first time, he didn't see himself as Ben, the greasy auto mechanic, but as Ben with the master plan. He was dressed to the nines, he had pockets full of cash, and he was just handing it out like he was handing out candy at Halloween. Can you imagine the range of emotions that he was feeling when he was able to help his community? Can you imagine what he was feeling when his wife looked at him with adoration, when he was spoiling her with whatever she wanted? Here's the thing about the brain. Even though you may be dreaming, the brain still fires off messages to the rest of the body as if what you're experiencing is real. Ever been chasing your dream and then only to wake up and find out that you were all sweaty, heart was pounding, like you were really running, like you were really there, like you were really being chased? Ever had a dream that felt so real that when you woke up, you were surprised that you were in your bed? It was that dream that set Ben on a path of wanting to be more than just a mechanic. It was that dream that set him on a path to learn the principles of money. Here's the thing. In order for me to change, I have to see myself not as who I am, but as who I want to be. And that was my problem. All I saw was who I was, a hardworking man, juggling various jobs and gigs just to pay bills and manage my debt. If you would have asked me a few years back to visualize who I wanted to be, I would have looked at you like you was crazy. I'd have been like, well, what are you talking about? If someone would have said to me a few years back, imagine being debt free, I would have laughed and said, that's impossible because everyone has debt. You can't live without it. If that someone would have said to me, okay, well, imagine yourself with thousands of dollars in your bank account and having assets that were generating so much money that you wouldn't have to work because your money would be working for you, I would have laughed at him and said, yeah, okay, nice dream. The reason why my situation wasn't changing was because I didn't imagine that it could. The power of dreams are powerful. How many inventions started with just a dream? When I read The Richest Man in Babylon 2.0 for the upteenth time, this part of the story stuck out to me. Ben's dream was the catalyst for him changing his financial situation. I needed to start dreaming. I needed to start seeing myself being debt-free. I needed to see myself with a bank account with investments. I needed to know how it felt to have my money work for me instead of me working for money. It was hard. I couldn't wrap my mind around those concepts. They were so foreign to me. But one of the most important lessons that this story taught me was I'm not going to be who I want to be if I don't first see it in my head. I have to see myself running my own business up here before I can run a business out here. I have to see myself being wealthy up here before I can be wealthy out here. This is where it starts. I want to give you a framework that worked for me. And if you follow it, I know it will work for you as well. It's a 5-step process. Step 1, you have to get specific about your dream. You have to be super clear on what you want. Don't just say, I want to be rich. What does being rich mean to you? In Ben's dream, he was wearing expensive clothes. He had cash popping out of his pockets, and he was just giving it away to the poor and buying things for his wife. What does your financial future look like? Be very specific. Is it being debt-free? Is it your house being paid in full? Is it owning assets that can pay you so you don't have to work as hard? Step 2, tap into your emotions. Dreaming isn't just about seeing the end result. It's about feeling it too. When you picture your dream life, what emotions come up? Are you excited, proud, grateful? Lean into those feelings and let them fuel your vision. The reason this matters is that your emotions are what really motivates you to take action. If you can tap into that sense of joy, accomplishment, or possibility, you're more likely to put in the work to make it happen. So as you dream of who you want to be, pay attention to how it makes you feel. Let those emotions become your driving force. When I first started about dreaming my own business and having my money work for me and being debt-free, I would feel excited and motivated. I could feel the stress leaving my body. I would even smile when I would imagine my wife calling me when she was at the register, asking me, was I sure if there was enough money on her credit card before she swiped it? Because she didn't want to be embarrassed again. I loved the way it felt, and I wanted to continue feeling those emotions. So I knew that if I wanted my dream to become a reality, I would have to continue to step number 3. Step number 3, breaking your dream down into baby steps. Now it's time to get practical. Take a look at your dream and start breaking it down into baby steps. That way it'll be easier for you to take action. I know for me, the hardest thing to do anything is to start. If something sounds complicated or it starts off with me having to do something that's hard, chances are I'm not going to do it. So for example, if your dream is to start your own business, then your first steps might be going on YouTube and doing some research, listening to some podcasts, or reading some books. You can talk to someone who has a business, pick their brain, maybe even run your business idea by them just to see what they think about it. Create a business plan. By creating these incremental steps, you give your brain a roadmap to follow. Each time you hit a milestone, your dream will become that much more real to you. Step 4, reinforce your dream daily. Dreaming is like a muscle. The more you flex it, the stronger it gets. That's why it's so important to make it a daily practice. Spend a few minutes every morning or whenever works best for you, closing your eyes and picturing your dream life. You can even take it a step further by creating affirmations, positive statements that reinforce your dream. For example, you may say, I'm a successful business owner, living life on my terms. The key is to make these affirmations present tense and personal. In other words, speak your dream into existence. Surround yourself with people who will uplift you. The more you can immerse yourself in that positive goal-oriented mind state, the quicker you'll see results. Last step, step 5, stay resilient. Let's be real. The journey to becoming your best self isn't always easy. There will be setbacks, roadblocks, and moments when you just want to throw in the towel. But that's where your dream and affirmations come into play. Whenever you feel discouraged, go back to that mental picture you've been cultivating. Reconnect with the emotions, the details, the reasons why this dream matters to you. Use that vision to fuel you to keep pushing forward, even when the going gets tough. Remember, dreams aren't just fictional stories that only live in your head. They're a blueprint for the life that you want. If you notice, I referenced The Richest Man in Babylon a lot. That book, that's my financial Bible right there. That is the foundation for my financial education. I don't care what financial advisor you may follow, what guru you may follow. Everyone makes reference to the principles in this book because these principles are universal. And what I've done is I've written a rendition of the book, an upgrade, if you will. And it's called The Richest Man in Babylon 2.0. It's the same principles, the same foundation. The only thing that I did was I made the stories modern. So instead of the stories happening in Babylon over 6,000 years ago, the stories are now happening in 2024. Until the next video, dream